I think my 27 male girlfriend, 26 female, of 1 year spends money very impulsively. I feel like my girlfriend of 1 year consumes excessively on things she doesn't really need. A lot of the time, it's on little gadgets for skincare and kitchen tools that are really redundant. Other times it's on infomercial type stuff from Japanese TV. She's Japanese, her family is from Japan, but she wasn't born in Japan. Ultimately, she ends up wasting money on stuff she doesn't really need, which ends up in some box, never to be used again after a few uses. Additionally, I personally find that she spends more than necessary on clothes, shoes, and accessories when she already has more than enough. She buys clothes or bags most months, from what I've seen, despite having more than enough clothes since we started dating. I think, in general, she has some issues managing money. I think in the second month of our relationship, she ran out of money for the month after buying something she wanted, a piece of clothing, and then cried the next day when she realized she had no more money left without touching her savings. That was incredibly strange to watch. She spoke to me throughout the process, and she told me how much she had and how much she'd be left with after the purchase, and it was obvious that she was going to run out of money. And then she made the purchase, realized she had no money left, and cried. It was bizarre to me. In the end, she was fine, she didn't go hungry, but it was so strange to see how unaware she seems to be about the impact of her financial decisions. I've helped her with stuff like how to do spreadsheets to plan her spending for the month, how to estimate how much she'll need on necessities, how much to save, and so on. I'm not an expert, but she seriously needed some support from someone who doesn't spend as impulsively. Ultimately, I'm not sure what to make of this. There are many things I like about her outside her money management skills, but her behavior does make me wonder what this will look like in the future if our lives get more intertwined. Is there anything that I can do to make her more aware of the effect of her spending habits? Too long did not read. Girlfriend spends excessively and seems highly unaware of the effect of her spending decisions. I really like her for many other reasons outside of her spending, but I'm concerned about how much of a problem this can be in the future and what can be done to help her become more aware. Is there anything that I can do to make her more aware of the effect of her spending habits? This is what dating is for. You are finding out you aren't compatible around money. That's a huge incompatibility. Is she asking for help? Or have you just decided she should change? You're not financially compatible. My 60M partner, 65F, shoots down every idea I have, and I'm starting to resent her. How do I handle this? First, let me start by saying I will not be leaving my partner or business over this. It's our only conflict, and otherwise everything is nothing short of a fairy tale. I, 60M, run a small business with my partner of 30 years, 65F. We've built a successful venture together, and I couldn't be more proud and happy to have built this with my wife, of all people. We are a strong team, and I respect and love her greatly. We have a wonderful support staff with long-term clients that love what we do, but lately I'm feeling like I'm more of an unruly employee than a partner. When we first started out, the focus was of course on figuring out the most efficient way to make our business profitable. But our ship has been sailing very smoothly now for over a decade. No big kinks, no major leaks, nothing we couldn't resolve quickly. We've worked hard to make this ironclad. With retirement coming up soon, we're at a place where we can definitely breathe and maybe be a bit more playful with the business. But every time I propose something creative or try a new approach, she shuts it down. That's not how we do it. That's wasteful. Stick to the proven method. I get that she values efficiency. She grew up with very little and had to be resourceful. I respect that. But her way isn't the only way, and where I'm asking for a bit of freedom isn't a risk to our profits or livelihood. For example, last week I wanted to experiment with a new client outreach strategy. She didn't even contemplate it. She immediately said it was too risky and not systematic enough. She insisted we stick to the way we've always done it. A new approach wouldn't cost us any more time/money than what we already have, but she can't see past her way being right. When I tried to push back, she got sharp with me. Told me I never learn. Like I'm an incompetent child or something. It really hurt. I don't understand why she won't let go a little. Now there's this tension between us. She's frustrated I'm not engaged. I'm frustrated she won't let me try anything new. How do I handle resenting her control? How do I communicate that it's safe to play a little? Anyone have experience with a situation or relationship like this? How did you handle it and what happened? Too long did not read. My wife won't let me make decisions in our business. I need help not being resentful. Info, have you tried asking her why she does that? And letting her know how you feel? Why do you think it's a good idea to upset the apple cart when you're so close to the finish line? Why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? You sound like you have a strong relationship. The best thing you can do is attend couples counseling about this. It'll help you both feel heard in a neutral space with a mediator. Then you can resolve this before it becomes deep resentments. Engaged and living together, but my fiancé's gaming addiction is taking over his life. Advice? 24F, 25M. Hi everyone, I'm looking for outside perspective because I feel emotionally stuck and don't know what to do anymore. My fiancé, 25M, and I, 24F, have known each other since we were teenagers, 17F, 18M. We started as a long-distance relationship when I was 18 and he was 19. From the very beginning, we felt like a perfect match. We could talk for hours, dream about our future, and genuinely enjoyed each other's company. Despite being in the LDR, we met often. Later, when we were both in university, I did a one-year student exchange abroad in the city where he was studying abroad. We didn't officially live together, but we saw each other almost every day. That year was honestly the highlight of my life. Spontaneous trips, bike rides, adventures, plans, just living fully and happily together. After that, he moved to my country for a better future, found a stable job, and my family fully accepted him. We've been living together for about 2.5 years now. The problem is his gaming addiction. It started slowly once he finally had his own money, but over time it completely took over his life. I genuinely think his screen time is around 18 hours a day. He works from home, and whenever his workload is low, he plays from morning until late evening. He's constantly on Discord with his friends. Everything revolves games and things related. Sometimes literally all day long. I've told him many times that this lifestyle makes me unhappy, that I feel uncomfortable with his unhealthy relationship with computer, and that we're drifting apart because we don't spend time together anymore. Nothing really changes. If we do anything together, it is because I propose to do so. It's affected everything, even intimacy. I struggle to feel close to him emotionally, and sometimes it feels like he comes to me only when he's bored of gaming or wants a short break from the computer. My psychological needs just aren't being met anymore, and it hurts because it used to be completely different. He's been on antidepressants for about a year. I can tell his mental state is better. He is not suicidal anymore, yet his lifestyle hasn't improved. He also tried therapy and attended a few sessions, but decided not to continue because he said he didn't find it helpful. I know that he is struggling with his self-image, simply speaking. He hates himself. He's gained weight from sedentary lifestyle, doesn't want to go out, doesn't want to exercise, doesn't like doing activities. To me it feels like he forces himself when we do anything together. We barely spend real quality time together now. What hurts the most is remembering how we used to be. We were active, spontaneous, adventurous, always planning things. Now his entire world revolves around gaming. He even admits that it's an addiction. When I once asked him why he seems so lifeless, he said his soul is dead, and that he has no goals anymore. His main goal used to be moving to my country and getting a job here, and once he achieved that, he says he lost the purpose. He often describes himself as lazy. He'll indeed say he wants to change or do something, but then he forgets, loses motivation, or never follows through. There's no real discipline, no willingness to push himself through discomfort, even in small ways. He's even admitted to my dad that he's lazy. It feels like everything in life that requires effort is avoided. He's also stopped taking care of himself. He doesn't try to look good for me anymore, doesn't really care about his health, and if I don't cook for both of us, which I do every day, he'll mostly eat sweets or junk food. He used to learn my language, but slowly stopped caring to the point where his teacher refused to continue lessons because he kept forgetting or skipping them. This created a huge language barrier with my parents, especially my dad, who really wants to bond with him. It breaks my heart to see that connection being impossible. Watching this all makes me feel less like a partner and more like someone who's holding things together for him. And that's not the dynamic I want in a relationship. I often feel sad and unfulfilled. I cry quite a lot because that's the only thing that I can do at this point. My parents are worried I'm not living my life to the fullest. I'm an only child and very close to them. I feel like I'm failing my partner, my family, and myself at the same time. I do have my own hobbies and interests, and I actively try to keep myself busy and not revolve my entire life around him. I go out, I plan things, I work on myself. But at this stage of a serious, committed relationship, especially one that has led to an engagement, I want to feel important to him. Because he is important to me. I keep telling him that we will never be this young again. This is the time when we have the energy, freedom, and opportunity to build memories and a life together. I don't want to look back one day and feel like these years were wasted in front of a screen. I love him deeply, but I'm starting to resent the games. I want to feel like I matter more than a game. At this point, his constant computer use has made me lose my sense of what couples even do together anymore. What makes this even harder is that he proposed to me this summer. He truly is a kind, gentle, and caring person, and I know he loves me in his own way. If I ask for help with something practical, he'll do it. But I don't want to have to ask for the bare minimum of emotional presence, attention, or shared time. I don't want to feel like a responsibility or a chore. I want to feel chosen, wanted, and emotionally connected. I want him to want life again, and not just exist behind a screen. I don't nag, I don't insult him, and I'm very careful about how I communicate my feelings. I try to speak calmly, respectfully, and without blame, even when I'm hurting. But these conversations lead to temporary understanding at best, and then everything goes back to the same routine. Seeing no real change over time is what hurts the most, and it's slowly wearing me down. I honestly don't know where I stand anymore. I want to fix this. I feel like he desperately needs a wake-up call. At the same time, I'm starting to wonder if leaving is inevitable, and that thought fills me with guilt. I hate feeling like I'm always the one bringing up problems or pushing for change. I genuinely want the best for him, and I'm afraid of being too harsh because that's not who I am. But part of me also worries that even if I give him a wake-up call, he might not care enough to change because nothing has really improved after some serious talks we've already had. If anyone has been in a similar situation or has any advice, I would really appreciate it. Too long did not read. My fiancé, 25M, is addicted and spends most of his day gaming. He's on antidepressants, tried therapy briefly, but nothing has changed. We live together, he proposed this summer, but we barely spend quality time together. He neglects his health, and I feel emotionally unfulfilled. I love him and want to fix things, but I'm afraid he won't change, and I'm wondering if leaving is inevitable. Feeling lost and need advice. How can I help him find motivation and reconnect with me? Or is there a way to handle this situation without losing myself? Girl, leave this man and this relationship. He clearly needs some mental health help, but you are miserable. You're only 25. Break up, move out, return the ring, and go be happy. You might have to wrap it up low-key. I didn't really read anything you typed, but it sounds serious. I'm wishing the best for you. Gigi. I briefly dated someone who gamed until 7 a.m. in the morning. It was the worst. Fiance 32M says he's changed, but I 33F feel numb. How do I know if his change is real or if I'm done? My fiance / 32M / and I / 33F / have been together for 6 years. I'm struggling to understand whether my partner is genuinely capable of lasting change, or if I'm emotionally checked out after years of buildup. Throughout the relationship, there have been recurring issues with anger, emotional volatility, defensiveness, and conflicts escalating over small things. When I tried to express my feelings, I was often interrupted or dismissed. After arguments, he would shift into intense guilt, which left me feeling responsible for comforting him rather than actually resolving the issue. Some examples of the anger patterns. He has gotten in my face during an argument and has broken things in the home multiple times. He would react with disproportionate anger, slamming doors, yelling, to relatively small inconveniences. During arguments in the car, he has driven erratically to scare me. A few months ago, I broke up with him. We got back together shortly after due to his begging and promises of change. That break seemed to be a major wake-up call for him. Since then, he has made changes. Fewer visible anger outbursts, more effort to hold back reactions, more apologies, and more awareness of how his behavior affects me. Compared to before, things are better. Internally, though, I feel numb, detached, and anxious rather than connected. I don't feel excited to see him. When I don't respond with enthusiasm, he comments on it. He also frequently talks about how traumatized he was by the breakup and becomes destabilized by reminders of relationship uncertainty. I'm torn because there are good qualities and real effort, but my nervous system feels constantly braced. I can't tell if I've shut down after years of stress, or if this relationship no longer works for me even if he's improving. My questions. Is it realistic for someone with long-standing anger and emotional regulation issues to genuinely change in a lasting way? How do you tell real internal change from fear-based improvement? Can emotional numbness recover over time, or does it usually mean too much damage has already occurred? At what point does he's trying stop being enough? I'm not looking to villainize him or be told to just leave. I'm genuinely trying to figure out whether staying is giving this a fair chance, or whether I'm staying out of guilt, fear, or attachment. Too long did not read. I /33F/ have been with my fiancé /32M/ for 6 years. He's had recurring anger and emotional volatility issues. I broke up with him a few months ago, and he's made some effort to change, but I feel numb, anxious, and emotionally detached. I'm not sure if he's genuinely changed, or if I'm done with the relationship. How do you tell real change from fear-based improvement, and is staying worth it? Every abuser says they've changed. Few actually make long-lasting change. It doesn't matter if he's changed or not. You don't trust him. I think this relationship is over for you. You don't need his permission or approval to leave.